You know that sound? That awful thumping sound and the car starts pulling to one side? Yep, it's a flat tire. It's a moment that can feel anyone with dread, right? But trust me, knowing what to do turns that panic into a solid plan. So let's dive into this essential life skill. Getting a flat on a busy highway, it's got to be one of the most stressful things a driver can face. But what you do in those first 30 seconds is absolutely critical. And guess what? It has nothing to do with tools.
Exactly. Before you even think about the spare tire, your number one, your only priority is getting yourself and your car to a safe location. This is the golden rule, folks, because your safety is totally non-negotiable.
All right, so here's our game plan to get you back on your way. We're going to start with the immediate safety checklist, then we'll check our toolkit, walk through the 10-step swap, tackle the most common problem you'll probably face, and finally, cover the rules for driving on that spare.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about how to handle the initial incident. This is all about situational awareness and making sure you are way out of harm's way before you do anything else. The second you feel that flat, resist every urge you have to slam on the brakes or jerk the wheel. Instead, get a firm grip on the steering wheel, ease your foot off the gas, and hit those hazard lights immediately. Your goal is just to coast to a safe spot. Once you're there, get as far over as you can and turn your wheels away from the road. These calm actions are your first line of defense.
And where you stop really matters. A nice, wide, flat shoulder, or a parking lot, that's ideal. But a narrow shoulder, a curve in the road, or any kind of hill, that's incredibly dangerous. The car could roll, or worse, other drivers might not see you. So here's the deal. It is way better to drive a little further on a flat, even if you risk damaging the rim, than it is to stop in an unsafe spot. And this quote just says it all. There is absolutely zero shame in calling for professional help if you can't find a secure place to pull over. Your safety is always the right call. Always. All right, so you're in a safe spot. Now, let's talk about the gear. Preparation is key here, and it all starts with knowing what should be in your car right now. In a perfect world, you'd pop open your trunk and find these 4 essential items: the spare, the jack to lift the car, the lug wrench to get the nuts off, and the owner's manual, which is basically your Bible for this whole process. But are you sure they're actually in your car?
Now, this is where things get really interesting. Look at this number. A staggering 40% of new cars don't even come with a spare tire anymore. Can you believe that? They might have a tire repair kit instead. So, seriously, the first thing you should do after this is go check your own trunk.
So, here's the full list. The essentials are totally non-negotiable, especially those wheel chocks. They're just sturdy blocks, or you could even use a couple of bricks to stop the car from rolling. And the good-to-have items, trust me, they can make a pretty miserable experience a whole lot better. A torch for at night, gloves to keep the grime off, and a reflective jacket so other cars can see you. Okay, you're safe, you've got your tools. It's time for the main event. We've broken it all down into 10 clear steps. Let's get this done. First 5 steps. Secure the car with the handbrake and make sure everyone gets out. Place your wheel chocks on the tire diagonally opposite the flat one. That's going to prevent any rolling. Now here's a super important part. While the car is still on the ground, use your wrench to loosen the lug nuts. Don't take them off, just break the seal. Then find the correct jacking point in your owner's manual, this is critical, and lift the car until the tire is about 6 inches off the ground. And right here, let's just pause for the single most important safety rule. A jack can fail. So never, ever put any part of your body under the car when it's just being held up by a jack. Okay, let's bring it home. Now you can fully unscrew those lug nuts and pull off the flat tire. Go ahead and mount the spare, lining it up with the bolts. Put the nuts back on and just tighten them by hand for now. Then, lower the car just enough so the tire touches the ground. That stops it from spinning. And now use the wrench to tighten them up properly. Finally, lower the car all the way down, take out the jack, and give each nut one last solid turn.
So you've done everything right. You put the wrench on the lug nut and nothing. It won't move. This is easily the most common and most frustrating problem you can possibly face.
So what do? Well, think about it. Garages often use these air-powered impact wrenches that tighten the nuts with incredible force. After years of rain and corrosion, they can feel like they're literally welded in place.
But there's a solution. First, grab some penetrating oil, something like WD-40 is perfect, and spray it all over the threads. Then, and this is important, be patient. Give it a good 10 to 15 minutes to work its magic. After that, you just need more leverage. A longer wrench, or even a pipe slipped over the handle of your current one, will multiply your force and should break that stubborn nut free.
Yes, the spare is on, the flat is in the trunk, you are ready to go. But hold on a second. Driving on a spare, especially one of those little donut tires, comes with some very strict rules.
Rule number 1 is all about speed. Most of these temporary space-saver tires have a maximum speed limit, and it's usually around 50 miles per hour or 80 kilometers per hour. They're just not designed for highway speeds.
And rule number 2 is pressure. This is a big one that a lot of people miss. These skinny temporary spares need a much higher tire pressure than your normal tires, often around 60 psi. For comparison, your regular tire might be around 35. If it's underinflated, it's just not safe.
And this is the most important takeaway of all. They are not a permanent fix. They're designed to do exactly one thing: get you slowly and carefully to a garage so you can get your proper tire fixed or replaced. That's it.
So before you drive off, just do these final checks. Use a gauge to check the spares pressure. Make sure the flat tire and all your tools are put away securely so they don't go flying around. Then just drive cautiously to a professional. They'll let you know if your old tire can be patched up or if you need a new one.
And for our final thought, after you get your main tire fixed, what about the spare? Did you remember to put it back? Did you check its pressure? Because the spare tire that saves you today is only going to be useful if it's actually ready for tomorrow.